Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. It's Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way to rap. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo.
I just want to have a remembrance of Dang Dang.
That's right.
Should we have a moment of silence? For a
Moment of silence.
Hold on. Say it again.
Dang Dang.
Rally up, y'all. Rally up. That's what we're doing. We got this vote coming up, so y'all better rally up. All of us need to throw our hats off.
There you go.
That's
did?
funny.
So listen, we're going to get this thing going. I want to first introduce our guest. Sitting to my left, if you're looking at it right now, she's to your right. Miss Sky, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Go on, introduce yourself. Let everybody know where they can find you on Instagram real quick. Then we go and introduce your partner.
Okay. My name is Sky Juice, and I am one half of the Poly Pimps, representing education about polyamory. And you can find us at the Poly Pimps on Instagram.
Okay.
We're on Facebook too, but I use Instagram more.
Okay. I was going to go right to your partner, but Sky Juice.
Yes. What is that all about?
Yeah, real quick.
Oh.
You stole my mind right there.
Oh, really?
I was gonna let it go, but
I ain't want to forget. That's
Yeah. No, so I'm a vegan chef,
okay.
and I do a lot of juicing.
Okay.
And it's my brand name that I've had for like 25 years, so people call me Sky Juice.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, yes. Okay. That. Whew, I thought we was gonna go somewhere else with that, but that's great. That's great.
We can.
We'll get there. And video conferencing in, we have a young lady, the other side of the Poly Pimps. Me too. Young lady, can you hear me?
I don't think she can.
Yes, I can hear you guys
Okay.
There
now.
we
Good
go.
evening to Classic Conversations and your audience.
All right, well, go on and introduce yourself. You know, is it just Me Too? Does Me Too stand for something else like Juicy up at, can I say Juicy? Is that okay?
Yes.
Juicy. We're going in already, huh?
All right, well, listen, go ahead.
Well, Me Too is short for Air Me, and it's also my stage name. I am the other half of Poly Pimps. I am a hairstylist by day.
Okay,
I am also a singer, and I guess that's pretty much it.
okay, that can work. And people, just so you know, it's not spelled METOO, it's spelled MITOU.
Yes.
All right, put that out there for people start looking for you as Me Too.
Correct.
You know,
Thank you.
Multi-talented, Benjamin.
as a movement. Very multi-talented. You know.
I'm watching you, brother. It's just say he can do two things at once.
All right, so we're gonna we're gonna jump right on in this thing. So can you start off by defining exactly what polyamory actually is and how it differs from other types of relationships, as in open relationships and swinging lifestyle, as they call it?
Okay. I'll start and then I'll let her add or
Okay.
make my answer better. Polyamory is simply multiple loves. So the way it differs from open relationships are where you're in a relationship, a monogamous relationship, and you allow for your partner or you or your partner to have an open sexual relationship with others. Polyamory allows for you to have multiple partners with loving, emotional, and sexual connections in either direction, in multiple directions. It could be, you could have a couple that has other partners, like you have a married couple that has boyfriends and girlfriends. You can have a throuple where they're together as everyone is in a relationship. You can have individual, single, solo poly, that they have partners and they kind of live as an individual, like a single person, but they have multiple partners. There's a lot of different ways it goes, actually.
See.
So it really depends on the individual and how they want to live their life. So Me Too, you could add to that. Especially the swinging part. I didn't get to that.
Yes, to add to to add to what
The
Sky just
defining
said,
polyamory.
we also have to remember that polyamory is consensual. Everybody involved is consenting to that kind of dynamic.
And it's ethical, too.
With swinging
Oh, let me
and
let her talk.
open relationships, it's just very different because most of the time those don't leave room for emotional attachment to anybody. With polyamory, like she said, you can go either way. It doesn't matter your sex or sexual orientation. You can have boyfriends, girlfriends, depending on what you are interested in and can handle.
Interesting.
Let me ask you in regards to the the boyfriend and girlfriend. So you can be a couple, and each one of you have another boyfriend and
Multiple
girlfriend.
partners, yes.
But-
Other partners.
But are y'all living as one unit, or how does that
They
work?
can if they want. Here in Atlanta, they have married people who have partners that don't live with them, and they also have partners that do live with them.
Okay.
It depends on the dynamic again that you choose because they have couples that live together and other couples that date separately. Let's say, for example, you have a straight woman in a couple, she's not interested in dating women. So she's most likely going to be dating other men. And you have a man in the couple that is heterosexual. Um, he's not interested in dating anybody else but women. So he's going to have girlfriends.
This is a good question. How do you address and set boundaries within your relationships, especially when it comes time to time and emotional energy?
So, of course, depending on all those types of different relationships, is going to determine how you break up time. And the biggest factor we have that we don't have is time. So that's going to determine how many partners you're able to develop with, have relationships with. If you live with someone, we consider that a nesting partner. But your primary partner doesn't necessarily have to be the one you live with. Some people don't believe in hierarchies in their relationships, so they'll have non-hierarchical relationships where they kind of see more equality amongst their partners. And in terms of time, it really just depends on what you got going on. You know, the biggest factor being everything: work, children, your relationships. I mean, you might have a partner that you only see once or twice a month, and then you might have a partner that you see every other day, and then you might also live with a partner. So a lot of it is scheduling your calendar. You know, that's basically how I look at it. Is I kind of always think about like what's going on in my week, and then also who's calling me, what are we doing, what plans have been made, etc. So it's scheduling. It's all about scheduling. That's a big part of it.
And as far as boundaries, we want to define what boundaries are, because a lot of times people think of boundaries as rules. Boundaries are for you as a person. It's not anything that you impose on anybody. For example, if somebody is verbally abusive to me, I can decide I'm not going to deal with you. So that's a decision that I'm making to protect myself against that person. You don't have to stop being the way you are, but I can choose how I interact with you and how I engage with you. So everybody has different depending on what your preferences are and what what you want pretty much in a relationship. That's how you set up your boundaries.
This is a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. It's real.
I know we said earlier that these are the basic questions, but wow, it's a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
So my question is like, what are the common misconceptions that you guys may have encountered, or that you do see in other groups of people that's also in the lifestyle?
Oh, I think the biggest thing I get from guys is like, I'm poly too. I like being poly. I want to try poly. And they really don't have a clue of what it really entails.
Right.
And that it's not just a fuck fest. Can we curse here?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
That right, you said,
It's
please.
not.
Let it fly.
It's not just about, free sex and,
Yeah.
it's like real emotional. It's like having a real relationship
Right.
times 2, 3, 4, 10, 20. It doesn't matter how many, whatever people are doing.
Right.
But it's real relationships. It's a real emotional love, real romance. It's not, some people who are just ethically non-monogamous, which is another terminology, polyamory's under that.
Right.
So you have ethical non-monogamy. You have non-monogamy, which cheaters fall under that. You have ethical non-monogamy. Polyamory is under it. Open relationship is under that umbrella. And swinging is also under ethical non-monogamy. Swinging over here is more sexual only. Polyamory includes sex, but it's also emotional connection. So
you say,
Another misconception is that you don't want anything serious.
yes.
Because the second I tell somebody that I'm polyamorous, they're like, "Oh, me too. I'm not looking for anything serious." So
Yeah.
so as a guy,
Yes, ready.
That's a guy.
Who's been out here in his younger years, and I used to come across women on the regular. I pretty much sounds like I was going about this all wrong. I was,
100%.
I was out here just like, you want to have a threesome? And
He's out going about this all
the
wrong.
the logic I think I was going off of, it was poly just because of the lack of knowledge. You know, now that, you know, of course I'm older, I get that, you know, especially with sex, there's a lot of emotional stuff. But do you feel like in those atmospheres like swinging, sometimes emotions can arise? And do you think they can damage a relationship if it's not like, you know, a real communicate? What is it? Am I saying the word right?
Yeah.
Communicatable? That's
Yeah.
not a word. Is that a word?
Yes.
That's a word. Yeah, I'm making.
We can make it up.
We'll work
I'm
with
making
it.
this up. Do what I
We'll work
want.
with it.
We get the
I
meaning.
would
There we
say
go.
I would say that a lot of swingers turn poly
Okay.
because they realize that they're involved with these partners on a regular, you know, basis, party, lifestyle parties, what have you, and they develop emotional connections with them. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then they have to navigate that. So yeah, I know a lot of people who have went from being swingers, which eventually gets old, to being polyamorous. In fact, I was awakened in that same way. I was going to swingers parties, and then I started learning. It opened my eyes to like the fact that sex is bigger than just that, and so then I swayed into poly that way. I turned the corner.
And we have to also say that some swingers don't survive in the world of polyamory because a lot of swingers, they are used to just the physical attraction and attachment. But once the emotion is involved, they cannot handle it. And I know some people have not survived emotional connections to other people, and eventually their dyad pretty much died because
Yeah.
of that.
So you said something a little minute ago. I gotta divert just slightly. You started swinging and said it got old. So my question is kind of like, what leads to a person exploring the poly life? Like you're starting at one phase, you're going from swinging, or does it? You know what I mean? Like how do you get here?
I don't think the road is everyone's path. Like swinging is not everyone's path.
Okay.
I only went to a couple parties, and it enlightened me because I was like, I was taught the the fantasy. You know, I taught that the fantasy. You know, meet a guy and that.
Right.
I was taught that, but then I got invited to this thing, and I was like, oh, this is a whole different world. And then it became a story in my mind, like, okay, well, what else? What other dynamics of love and relationships? What does it look like? So, also, swinging taught me that sex, even though it is very passionate and connecting with a person, it's also at the same time purely primal and purely physical too. So, and just navigating that. But how does one, I think for me, the biggest thing that I think a lot of humans desire more than anything is freedom. And I think the regular monogamous relationship is lacking in freedom because you do love your person and you do desire connection with them, but then you also feel enslaved to this relationship. And I want to be able to love freely and still feel like I can move around in the world and be myself. And that is why polyamory became a thing for me, because I hated, after a while being in a relationship, I felt locked in. And I was like, why do I love you so much and I just want to get the hell on? You know what I'm saying? So, and then when you just start looking at statistics about marriage, divorce rates, and what have you, there's something about monogamy that's not working at all. And when they say till death do you part, I mean, people die slowly in marriage. So like all of those things have been thoughts of my mind for 20 years or more. So, and I was married too, and I got out of my marriage because of polyamory.
Wow. Me too. Same question. Like, what
Well,
led?
for me, I have to say that I've always felt polyamorous, although I didn't have the words to describe who I was at the time. As early as a teenager, I knew that there were certain things that I did not experience that most people who are in a monogamous relationship experience, like wanting this person to be mine and mine only. Um, I never had that feeling. I was not the person who was going to lose her shit just because somebody's looking at my man or wanted to talk to him. It was always kind of like, okay, yeah, go for it.
Mm.
But again, I'm not sure. I wasn't aware of any terms to describe how I was. Then I got married into monogamy as well, but I always knew that I wanted to explore more than what I had. And eventually, after my divorce, I, s- I talked to a friend who kind of told me about polyamory. And I started researching it, reading books, and watching podcasts, listening to podcasts. And eventually I realized, yes, this is exactly what I've been wanting all these years. And then know that there was a whole community, a whole book, really, for terminologies and stuff. So my story is a little bit different than Sky. I'm not much of a swinger myself because it's, it's just different for me. But I feel like I am polyamorous and I've always been polyamorous.
Interesting. It's interesting.
And then also, just so you know, Me Too and I are metas.
And that means
Yes.
Metamor is the terminology. Poly has a whole new language, right? Metamors we were with the same guy. So we were both like metas is your
Dating him
partner's
at the same
partner.
time.
okay.
Metas are your partner's partner. So we met through him.
Out of the term meta.
Meta, yeah.
So
Gotcha.
so how did that conversation?
Met
How did
more.
that happen? I mean, did he say, "Hey, I'm Polly and I want you to meet," or did one of you say, "Hey, I'm Polly and I want you to meet"?
I'll let Me Too handle that one.
Well, I found him on Bumble, and through talking, eventually we talk about how many partners we are currently dating. And Kai at the time was one of the people that he was dating, and every once in a while I would ask questions because I like to ask questions if the person is okay answering them. You don't have to, but I like to be in the know. Eventually, he wanted Sky to meet, or for us to meet, and he ended up bringing Sky to one of my shows at Camp Cafe, and that's how we met, and we're good friends ever since.
Yep.
Dope.
Okay. It's a
And then
lot,
and
man.
that's the beauty of it, because at the end of the day, when you think about multiple partners and time, you really don't have time to be going to Lawrenceville, down to McDonough, back up to Midtown
Right.
to see all these people, right?
Right.
So ideally, in a perfect situation, you want your partners to all be together.
Right.
You want them to be cool with each other and friends. You don't have to be best friends and buddies. You don't have to sleep with each other or nothing. But you want to be like,
Cordial.
oh yeah, I'm gonna be like. I mean, there were many times when I've called him and he was there with her, and we're
Right.
all talking together.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, y'all have fun. I'll talk to you later. That kind of vibe.
It's just respect. It's just respect.
It's just
all
love.
around.
It's all good.
Back to this meta thing, because you had I was over here like Facebook meta, and then I
Oh.
figured it out after that.
They took our word.
But okay, so from what I have a few friends that are poly. So one thing I've noticed is a lot of the women normally stay together. Like sometimes they transition from the man, and they become a couple, and then they start looking for a third to add after they've met I didn't know that was a term, meta, like y'all met through or whatever.
Well, it's not metamor is what it's short
Metamor,
for.
gotcha.
Yeah. I don't even
Okay.
know where the word comes from, but yeah.
I might say metamorphosis. You know
Something
what I'm saying?
like that.
I'm just
yeah.
making that up. I don't know.
It sounds good.
I know, I'm just throwing it out there. Add it in there, y'all. So do you see that a lot where sometimes people transition from being, you know, in the traditional aspect, you know, I guess guy, girl, and then the women stay together, and then they're like, you know what, let's search for another person. And do they transition to another guy or another woman? Do you see that in any aspect?
I definitely see a lot of what I call unicorn hunting, which is very much a part of that.
Okay.
And unicorn hunting tends to be, I see this so much in a lot of poly groups online that I have to get out of these groups. I'm only in groups that are not okay with unicorn hunting, for sure. And basically, unicorn hunting is when you have a monogamous presenting couple
Okay.
who wants a bisexual woman to play with both of them. And so it basically looks like they're looking for their third, right? But the woman has to be bisexual, and she has to be with both of them. She has to be with the couple,
Gotcha.
which is very difficult to navigate being with two people. You might be attracted to the guy, not the girl,
Right, and
or
vice
the other
versa,
way
right.
around, or what have you. And then a lot of times they invite them in their home to slave, clean, cook, and babysit. So
Like a
that's
pet?
a whole thing. That's a whole slice of it. Oh, it's a whole thing.
What?
Yeah, like, oh, you don't have to pay no rent, girl. Come on in our house. You know, we got this. We got
Right.
a room in the basement you could sleep in. So you got your sex slave, your housekeeper. That's a real thing.
Right.
It's really happening because they think of this magical world. And if you're down and out in Atlanta, you might
Right.
you might be, oh, shoot, I give me a little free spot. I can play with them.
Right.
Yeah, and it's a disaster. And then as soon as someone catches feelings for real,
Right.
that girl is vetoed out. She's like say the wife is like, oh, you know, I see you spending more time with her, or like when you have sex, I have to be present, and you know he goes and on the side. You know, a lot of I read it in these blogs and stuff, and it's like it can go south very quickly.
Unicorn hunting.
It's more language.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And to add to what I was saying, let me clarify. Sally and I, we did not date. It was more like a V. So
Gotcha.
both she and I were with the person. We did not date. We never dated. We're just friends.
Clarity.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify that. But sometimes the triad people, somebody may fall out and the other two stay together. Sometimes it's just the women, and they may be looking for another woman or a man.
So there's no limits to this thing, then, right?
There are no limits. There are only the limits that you create.
So do you communicate when you add in another partner? Is it considered a partner, or is it like
Partners, yep.
You say-
I mean, you have partners, friends.
Do you,
can,
do you
know,
communicate
whatever.
those things with the other people at all?
It depends on the level of your
Absolutely.
relationship. If you have partners, you know, when you add another person to your polycule,
I gotta have a dictionary.
Right. typing now.
We got a cubicle and a polycule. All right, people.
Polycule is
unicorn.
like polycule is like molecule, because you like say you're here and then you have this person, that person, that person, but this person has that person and that person, this person, and then they're connected that way. So it looks like a molecule. So that's what they say, polycule. But anyway,
I'll be damned.
yeah, if you're in a committed relationship with your partner or partners, and you want to, like some poly groups are closed. They got their 3 or 4 people or 2 people, because you could be poly and have one partner too. So, because it's a mindset, right? But if you have your multiple partners, you guys can close that and be like, we're not dating no one is dating anyone else. That's it. It's just this group here. But you can also have an open format where, you know, you're open to dating, and if you meet someone new, it's all good, you know. So yeah, you would want to probably communicate that to your partners if that's the dynamic y'all have. Some
Now-
partners don't ask, don't tell. I don't want to know too much, you know.
Now, so you said that you two, y'all are just friends.
Yes.
So there's no sexual energy between you three. With
Yeah,
the
I'm
guy.
not seeing. We're not. I don't. She's not seeing. We're not seeing him anymore.
We're not seeing him
Yeah,
anymore.
This
that-
was just then. This was
That was
then.
at that was several years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at that time, wait.
But we're all still good. Like we go out and we
Oh, okay.
talk
We're
to
friends?
each other.
Yeah, so
we
it's
didn't
like
break.
it's no-
We didn't break up. Another thing about breaking up in poly, you don't necessarily. I mean, you can break up with somebody. Like in monogamy, usually because it's such an all or nothing love style. Polyamory is, you know, I have more guy friends because I mean we came in like trying to do bromance and it was like, you know, but we actually ended up just being friends. So it's not, and we dated, but I no longer date him, but I got their number, you know, so it just becomes a like transition into like a different relationship, a different type of relationship. Monogamous relationships end and you like cut them off, block them, delete them, it's done. But now in polyamory, there's many times you date someone for a while and it's like, you know, it's all good. And like with Jay, who we were both dating, it just became like, for me, it was distance. Because he lives like way up north and I'm just like, I'm not traveling.
I get that.
So,
So, what are some common misconceptions about the polyamorous relationships that you've encountered?
Oh, no, we did. Though.
You already did that one? All right. So, what are some of the biggest joys and challenges you've experienced in living this lifestyle?
the biggest joy is just having these wonderful relationships, being so happy and wishing I did it 10 years or 15 years ago. That's the biggest joy, is just like, this is absolutely the right way to go about love. And yeah, it's just, it makes me feel good. And I really wish more people would be brave enough to go for it. You know what I mean? The challenges are definitely me trying to date monogamous guys that want to try poly and it never works out. So that's been a challenge for me because I get attracted to who I get attracted to, and you say, yeah, I like poly, I'll try it. And it's never, because the mindset is so different. You know, they're like, you're going out again? Yeah, I'm going out again. What's wrong with you? So like, you know, getting these the commentary, it goes like, it makes me like cringe. So I would say if you're really poly, don't date non-poly people, right? Me too?
Exactly right. That's why I didn't entertain that. If you are not non-monogamous, I'm not even considering you. That's why even on my dating profile, I make sure that I put polyamory. Only interested in somebody with polyamorous because I don't want to waste my time. And I don't want to waste your time either. For me, the biggest joy is being able to live my life as who I am, the life that I was supposed to have. Also having my autonomy, being able to decide for myself what I want, how I move, how I love, how I connect with people without somebody telling me that, oh, you can't talk to this person. Oh, this person is getting too close. I don't feel comfortable with that. You don't get to dictate that. I get to decide how I move and how I connect with people. Challenges, sometimes lovers can be long distance, or you may not have enough time with somebody that you may want to spend more time with because they may be busier with somebody else. So I think maybe that's one of the challenges. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's a true challenge.
So, and from what I'm hearing, it's pretty much it's the purest form of transparency, you know.
Totally.
Yes.
Good way of
So
putting it.
in that question, well, in that statement, where is the transparency just from like just sexual health as well, you know? And I mean, and I'm sure, you know, at a mature age, it's understanding on asking those questions ahead of time and stuff like that. But did you find it challenging at the beginning where, you know, you're talking about your sexual health, you know, getting checked or having those maybe uncomfortable conversations with partners in the past and now?
Not uncomfortable, just real. This is just the business of doing a relationship.
Okay.
So it's like, so we're going to get saucy. We're going to have that type of conversation. So, and that's basically it, you know?
Okay.
It's a new term. That's another term. Saucy. I like that.
Hey, saucy, juicy, metamor, anti-disestablishment.
That was definitely a question that was out here. Sean Anderson said it's a natural transition. Said he went from swinging to exclusively swinging to building a real relationship, then found out that was poly. Kaya wants to know, how many partners do you both have, and are they friends or lovers? Or yeah. You don't want to answer that?
I don't have a number.
I just say 99 is my answer every time because it really just cuts through the fear. If someone wants to know how many partners I have, I just say 99 because if I say the most, then you can get prepared for that smoke. You know what
What's
I'm saying?
coming?
And that way,
Wow.
you know, because as soon as someone's, you know, non-poly folks, they're like, I want to be number one. I want to be your, you know, if we fall in love, can you put all that aside and we, no.
That's
So,
manipulation.
yeah, that's there's another term for that. It's called, what is it called? Cowboying, or there's some sort of rodeo thing.
Really?
Yeah, they want to take you in the poly and pull you out of it. So they
They're
want
trying
like
to save you.
love, yeah, they're trying to love
Shit.
you out of it, you know. So
That
my answer is 99, and
That's funny.
that's where it is.
Yo.
And the reason why I say 99, there's a reason, because I have friends, lovers, associates, homies. You know, I can go out. A friend of mine took me to the movies. I hadn't seen him in a year. I mean, you know, I couldn't consider him a regular partner. You know what I'm saying? But I have the freedom to do whatever I want to do. So if someone calls me and say, remember that thing you were talking about? Oh, I found it. Oh, I want to show you. Meet me at such a, I could do that because I can. You know, I don't have to ask permission. I can do what I want. And I'm just busy that day, that evening. So
Right.
99 because it's that much freedom that I have. My freedom is infinite.
Infinite freedom.
Same question. Me too.
Yes, I don't have a number right now, but I have different people in my life that are romantic lovers, friends with benefits, sexual partners, friends, just pretty much call it however what I wanted.
Wow. Okay, so
Where's
let's
your
say
hair
out of
going?
5 men that come up to you and, you know, want to start talking to either one of you and want to date, how many of those out of those 5, after you tell them, you know, what you're into, your poly beliefs and everything, how many of those will try it and fail to how many of those just say, oh, well, I'm good?
And do you
Oh.
tell them that initially?
Step 1.
Okay.
So
Damn.
I'm like old school, but I'm actually all about these dating apps because it's hard to approach me in the street. Like because it's too much I gotta say. You know what I mean? So it's better to just read my profile on a dating app, and then you kind of get a full picture of what time it is. But I think what happens is a lot of guys on the dating apps, they see your picture and then they swipe right, but they didn't read anything. So then we have a little chat, and I was like, "Did you read my profile first?" Because, and then they disappear, they go ghost. So I think if it was 5, probably 4 out of 5 are zero interest. They're not about that life. 1 out of the 5 might be curious, but if you're not poly minded or have had poly experiences or want to really like after I have a conversation by phone, then I don't really want to go forward with that because I'm not going to teach you how to be.
You don't want to be a teacher.
I don't. I've done it. I've tried and I hate it.
Understood.
So how you supposed to learn?
There's a whole section of books on Amazon.
What?
There is Google.
She said come prepared.
There's all these podcasts.
We'll give you a
We have
referral.
podcast, the Poly Pimps podcast. We broadcast all the time. We got 2 years of videos.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can do. There's courses. There's everything. If you want to do it, you got to do the
Courses.
knowledge.
You telling me there's a course? What if you need hands-on experience?
I mean,
What do
I
you
don't
mean?
mind, and my whole thing is I don't mind being a friend. I
Right.
can definitely
through the
communicate. I can
process,
talk. I can talk to you on any day I have time about it because it's one of my favorite things to talk about. But I don't want to do the whole emotional thing
Get
because
involved.
it takes me out.
I get that. That can be draining. I mean,
Okay, me too. The same thing. Those same five guys, not the same. I guess it could be the same guys.
It'll be the same.
It could be. I honestly have not really met anybody in person who even started that conversation from the get-go. But I typically am on dating apps. Like I said, it's plastered on my bio, and I make sure I write it in bold and capital letters. And I've had a few experiences where people don't read the bio at all. They just swipe on the picture. So first message to anybody who matches with me is, wait, I hope you read my bio. I am polyamorous. What do you know about it? But typically, you'll find most people who are like, oh, sure, I know what poly is, or I've been poly, or I am poly, or I can be poly, or I'm not looking for anything serious. It's always a bunch of stuff. I can typically figure out pretty quickly who is poly or not, and I don't waste my time or energy with you.
I'd imagine how many of those five even really truly know what it is anyway?
Probably none of them.
None of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the true meaning.
The cheat code, I'll give you the cheat code. If you meet someone who's poly, one of the first few questions that you ask them is, what is your dynamic? Because that's the question.
Another word being dynamic.
and that's DY.
Yeah, what is your dynamic? What is your dynamic is a question that poly people ask each other because it gives the other person insight into how they're doing their poly.
Damn.
Kai has a quick question. Do you both have children? And if so, will you teach them the poly life?
Yes, I have 5 children, and they all know that I'm poly. We talk about it, and yeah, they meet partners, and yeah, all that.
Me too.
I have 2 children. The oldest, he's a teenager, and we've had conversations about polyamory. And the youngest, he doesn't know yet. He's really young, so he's not there yet. But when the time comes, we will have conversation about it.
All right, y'all. We're gonna take a well-deserved break, but when we come back, I used to look at this show, one of them television shows. I forgot what it was about, the poly life, and there was a throuple,
Brother, husbands.
but it was 2 men and a woman, and one of the men liked to have sex with like to connect with other men. I want to know if you've met something like that, and I want to get into that because I saw that on a television show and blew me away. Classic Konversations with Jae Tea Lo,
And that's a cop.
and we'll be right back.
That's a cup.
Classic Konversations. Konversations.
No, I like that. That conversation.
Facts of this case was a person employed as a police officer gunned down a person in cold blood. There's no way to clean it up. The way I'm understanding it, they were aware, and once they spoke to her, that she was a little bit mentally impaired. You're there, you're talking to the lady. It's clearly a good conversation. There's no animosity, there's no big F-bombs being dropped, there's no aggressions. Both the officers and the lady are pretty laid back. The officer says, hey, look, we don't want to fire while we're here. She goes back to retrieve the pot. Now, this is the craziness in it. You told her to do exactly what she did. Now you're saying, don't throw the water on me, and I feel threatened. But then you close the distance. The biggest telltale sign of that whole thing was when it was all over, and you look at how those other officers were treating him.
Oh, it's
That was like the walk of shame.
Very interesting.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Did MJ have a question or we just logging in?
How long is
Oh,
this
okay.
part here? Oh, we're back. It says we're back.
Not yet. She ain't give it the cue.
Oh.
But the 15 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes.
First 5 minutes, you can go into the question if you want it, and then the rest of it will be the top 5. So I'll give you a 5-minute. At the 5-minute mark, we can go into the top 5.
Shit. What was it again? Top controversial pop moments?
Top 5.
Let me.
Pop culture? Okay.
I'm gonna type this in.
And then go into your question about the 2 husbands that like having sex with other men. All right, we live. Let's go. 20 minutes, y'all.
We
Let's
do
get
the
it.
sign.
All right, y'all. Classic Conversations with Jae Tea Lo.
And ask a cop.
We are back. Listen, man. I hope y'all refreshed your drink. Got you some more potato chips, or whatever it is that you're doing to deal with this that's happening right now. Somebody said they could see the cloud above my head.
That was fun. That was
Yeah,
funny.
man, because it was
funny.
it's good. This is really, really good. So yes, getting to that question. In a throuple where you actually have a woman and 2 men, and one of the men is bisexual, have you ever seen that, encountered that in your world, or have you ever seen it?
I know of bisexual men who have women and men partners. I'm not personally connected to anybody like that, but that it does exist. So yes, I know of it.
So
I know
that's
of it
not a
being
part.
real.
It's not a part of your.
Oh no, I'm not really open to that, but I'm not against it for folks who want to
Gotcha.
be down.
Not part of your group.
It's not my no.
What's it called? What's it?
What is it called?
What's your group? What's it called?
What's my
Like-
dynamic?
Yeah,
That is.
What's
What's
your
my
dynamic?
Funny you should ask. I'm solo poly,
Okay.
Okay.
so I
Total
am
poly,
a-
Glenn.
Write that down.
Yeah, I wrote that down myself.
So I am a free agent, a freestanding solo individual. I don't have a partner I live with. I have my own. I'm my own agency. So that's not necessarily something I desire long term.
Okay.
Like I can change. Like if I develop a connection with a partner that we like, okay, we want to like build together and like do some stuff together. which may require living together, I'm open to that, but that relationship has to develop and manifest into that.
That's interesting.
But at the moment, I'm solo poly, and I am who I am. Yeah.
So Sean Anderson and bartender Lady Novia, what are you all? Because you all both comment on this. What are y'all?
What's your dynamic?
Thank you.
What's your dynamic? I got you.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Me
no
too.
problem.
The same
Yeah.
question though.
Larry told me to tell you hello. He logged in.
Hey,
Lord
Larry.
Mac. Lord Mac. He said, "Hello, Sky. It's
Hey,
me, Larry."
Larry.
The question he was asking about, we can't hear it right now, but the question was, what was your question again? Say it, see.
In regards to, say, a throuple where it's 2 men and a woman, and one of the men is bisexual and actually deals with other men. Is that anywhere within your cule? Did I say it right?
Polycule.
Polycule. I was thinking about molecule.
You said Q.
I have never dated a bisexual man,
What'd she say? I'm sorry.
but I am not closed off to it either, if the question is right. I do know of bisexual men in relationships, but I've never experienced it myself.
Okay, and also same question we asked her. What's your dynamic? I like saying that.
I am solo poly. I am not interested in getting married or cohabitating with anybody at the moment. I don't really see it in the near future either, but we change. We are people. We evolve. We change our minds about things. So I don't know when I wake up tomorrow what I'm going to feel. But right now, I am my own agency. I pretty much choose how I want to live and who I want to connect with.
They say I'm
That
my
part.
own agency.
Right.
Yes.
This is dope. I'm my own agency.
So solo poly, right? Yeah. Solo poly. So if there are women that don't call themselves solo poly, that's actually a free agent, that's actually out and just dating different people, would they be considered solo poly if they just don't know that they're solo poly?
In essence, yes. However, because you don't have to use all this terminology, right, to do it, right? But
Please.
please, right? Please and thank
I'm
you.
retired.
However,
Okay.
a big part of being solo poly, if you're just a single woman out here in Atlanta dating, transparency is the glue, or is the thing that makes you really a polyamorous person. So I know I have many single friends, and they, got a roster. You've heard that before. So roster folks don't know the other roster folks.
Right.
They don't know like person A and B and C and D, and they don't know the schematic of the roster. Polyamorous people tend to know the roster. They know names, faces. They've met each other. Like not this year, but last year, my birthday, the roster was all at my birthday. Everyone was there together. So
Like a visiting basketball
like
team?
it was awesome. All my friends were like, "I love you, Sky. You're so cool." So yeah. So they know each other. They like, "Yo, what's up, dude? How you doing? Y'all good?" And that kind of thing. So
Wow.
yeah.
I mean, some people, they can know of each other, but they don't necessarily have to meet or interact with each other. We call that parallel poly,
Another
to
term.
where you know of the
Parallel.
person,
Parallel
but
poly.
you're not
Question about that too.
Parallel
Next question.
poly
connecting.
is when like the partners don't connect at all. So I'm seeing this person here, and they'll never cross paths in any. They
But
might
they-
know of the person.
okay.
They might know either name or that you're seeing that person, but they'll never interact for any reason at any time. Kitchen table poly is the ability to sit at a table and have all your partners and your partner's partners sitting around eating, talking, what have you. So that's another dynamic.
Hey, wife. Before we got married, I think we was some type of poly because we knew about our other partners. I don't know if they knew about each other, but we were somewhere in there. Kitchen table, dinner table, end table. I don't know.
Do y'all have bowling alley?
MJ question.
There's a garden.
trying to get a
there's-
strike.
There's a garden
Trying to get
party.
this-
There's
He
garden
gone.
party, Polly, too.
All right. Well, this question then, Robbie said, "Do you all have?" Because you just brought up the parallel poly. She said, "Do you all have sexual relationship with parallel poly and other relationship anarchy?" And then right after that, enlighten me on nesting. Those are two questions.
Okay. Start. What was the first
First
part?
question is, do you all have sexual relationships with parallel poly and other relationship anarchy?
In most cases, anybody I'm seeing is going to be parallel right now. Nobody's really intermingling. So, yes, parallel is probably my dynamic also.
Okay.
Relationship anarchy is, they throw it under the whole poly world. It's a whole nother thing, though. Relationship anarchy is basically equalizing all relationships. So in monogamous culture, your most important relationship is your spouse. That is the like, everything else fails. Like, if at the end of the day, that relationship is the most important relationship in your life. Relationship anarchy is all your relationships are equally important. Your best friend around the corner, a buddy, everyone is important to you in that way. You give them the same, like if the phone rings, you're picking up the phone for your friend. So relationship anarchists don't look at like, well, why is the wife that much more important than the person I've known for 20 or 30 years? I just married this person 2 years ago. This person has known me since elementary school.
Right.
They're equally as important. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
And nesting is basically the person that you live with.
Is what
Say it
now?
again?
Say it again.
The person that you live with is what nesting is.
Okay. Gotcha.
And that's however many is living together. That's
Whoever
the whole
wants, however
nest.
y'all want to do it. We had last week. We had a throuple with 2 women and a man. They all live together, and there's 4 kids in the house. So they all live together as a couple and as a family. And then we had a while ago. We interviewed a one woman with her 2 male partners, all in one house as well. So they're
Now.
nested.
Real quick. Now, when you said that, let's say it's a throuple, man, 2 women, but the other women, everybody has different partners outside of the home.
Yes, you could do that.
And let's say one of the women or the man gets someone outside of the home pregnant, or that one gets. How does that work in regards to who? Yeah, how does that work? who's
Interesting.
Who's dad? Who's mom? How does that work? Or is it like in the monogamous world where everybody becomes uncle?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, my mom used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, mom.
I mean, it really depends on their dynamic.
So you mean they don't know who they don't know who they're pregnant for? Is that what you're saying? Because they have so many partners?
No,
or
they do. I'm sure that could happen too, but they do know who they're or
they
who
knew
he got.
They knew who the actual biological is.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Then the other partners are just, uncle and cousin and stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow.
They're in supportive roles.
One of my partners just told me his girlfriend is pregnant.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Your auntie.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's what I heard.
I'm not having no more
Auntie.
kids, so I'm good with anyone having babies.
I
Go
said,
for
Lord
it.
Jesus.
Nice.
What's up?
Yeah. Oh.
Interesting.
I must
Very,
say this has
very,
been an educational
What you
aspect. Thank you both so much. I have a lot to Google tonight.
Right. I already told him we might have to do a follow-up show
Man,
on this.
and we gonna have to because I gotta ask questions about the kids, and because in my head, the kids gonna be smart as hell. They gonna be like this. No, you guys are not emotionally ready for me. I can see it now. So yeah, man.
Interesting.
I can't wait to see y'all come back.
Yeah.
Me too. Hope you're gonna be in the studio this time. I know you up there in Timbuktu.
Absolutely.
But, bring you down.
You gotta catch a plane to come where I am, but I am hoping I'll be able to come to the studio, and I know way in advance I will make arrangements.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna make that happen. So, like I said again, thanks This was I was
Kabar
gonna
said
say
transparency.
dynamic, but I don't think I could say that way anymore.
The dynamic is interesting. I think you said.
so.
Say the least.
We have this thing that we do. It's called Top 5. But right now, what we want to do is go ahead and let you elaborate on again where everybody can follow you, because we had a lot of people chime in since we got started. Where everybody can follow you guys at, what's your podcast, when it's airing, and all that good stuff.
So the Poly Pimps, we broadcast every 2 weeks on Thursday, which is actually this Thursday, on YouTube as well, the Poly Pimps channel on YouTube. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, the Poly Pimps. Just put it in and it'll pop up. And we're actually planning to have a live podcast with a studio audience coming up in September. So it's going to be like a podcast and then a party. So that's going to be nice. So
A poly party.
a poly,
It's not a naked party.
a poly podcast party. What did we
lot of
call it?
peas.
What did we call it? Me too. Juicy. A
What?
juicy. Wasn't it?
Oh, the Juicy Bash.
A juicy bash.
Oh,
No, it's the other kind of juice. You know.
we finally got there. We finally got there.
She said September. That's all I
goddamn
heard.
what?
And I heard bash. All right,
Yeah,
All
that's it right there.
Me too. If you want to, because I know you multi-talented, doing a whole lot of other things. So if you want to, drop your handles out, where they can follow you at for your other talents, please do so.
Yes. You can find me on YouTube at Me Too Charles. And I also have a hair salon, Meet Charles Salon. And I'm in Beaufort, Georgia. You can also follow me on Instagram for my music, Me Too Charles and Essence Creole. And also another IG, Poly Haitian.
Okay.
Poly Haitian.
Poly Haitian.
All right.
That's another part of our thing is we're both Caribbean women. Virgin Islands Haitian.
Wow.
Yes.
Copy that.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Well, thank you for having us on your show.
Yeah,
this
thank
is amazing. And yes, we will be back, and hopefully we'll be live with you guys.
That was educational. Very educational.
Very.
I enjoyed it.
Yes, very, very, very. So we're gonna move into our top 5. Top 5 for you do the honors. That's your
Here we go. Top 5. Give me your top 5 controversial moments in pop culture. Dun dun dun. That needs a dun dun dun.
that
Your
was-
top 5 controversial moments in pop culture.
Janet Jackson's boob out.
Wow. Look,
This is that Janet Jackson boobs out.
look
That's
what,
a good one.
Look what I.
That was my first.
4 more. Go ahead. You started me too. You got 4 more.
Keep going.
Michael Jackson's hair catching on fire back in
Tag
the day.
team.
Oh, I have to say all of them.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yes, Al.
It's 5.
All 5. Then we'll let you go next.
Michael Jackson hanging the baby over the
Damn it.
balcony.
Oh, Mike.
Okay. 3 more. 3 more.
Ooh. Oh. Um, oh my God. Oh, Kanye.
Which one?
Saying something about Taylor Swift and Beyonce having the spotlight.
Yeah.
You took somebody else's. Go ahead.
2
Got-
more. 2
yeah,
more.
2 more.
2 more.
Oh my God. I don't know if this was considered pop culture, but Jada and Will life, sexual life.
That's pop culture.
I got one.
Okay. Oh, one more.
She got 1 more. 1 more.
Oh, she has to do
Yes.
it. Okay.
Let the Poly Pimps help.
And the Poly Pimps what? We'll rock with that.
Let the Poly Pimp help me.
All right.
Teamwork.
Do I need to do 5?
Mm-hmm.
Or can I add to her 3?
You can.
I want to say Kanye and Drake rap battle that just happened recently.
Okay.
Is that pop culture?
It is.
Okay. This is old. The Michael Jackson getting his hair on flames a long time ago.
In the Pepsi
The Pepsi commercial. Thank you. What else? I would just say Whitney Houston on Barbara Walters talking about she wasn't a drug addict when she was.
Crack is whacked.
Yeah.
Crack is
yeah. Crack is whack.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
What else? Beyonce.
Miley Cyrus and the Wrecking Ball.
Beyonce selling the most the highest paid concert tickets in her global tour that just went around. She made more money in her tour than anyone ever did.
Okay.
How many is that?
That 5 or 4?
It's 4.
50 years of rap.
Love it. What you got, D-Wayne?
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep mine Atlanta. Deion Sanders and Andre Rison fighting on his first game back in Georgia. All right, a little bit. Okay, gotcha. All right, am I better? Okay, number 2. Dang, they said the Kanye West thing. Oh, no. Kanye West saying George Bush did not care about black people.
Jeez.
Okay? Because he meant it. Tupac and Biggie beef. No, you said controversial moments in pop culture.
You said you're going to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, I did say I was gonna keep it Atlanta, but I had that just came to my mind, so I had to use it. That's number 3. All right, keep it Atlanta. Okay, T.I. calling out Lil Flip at birthday bash. Bring your bitch ass to the stage, Lil Flip. I was there in the rain. Okay. All right,
Okay.
number 2. All right, and number 1, the Source Awards when Dre said the South got something to say. Cause we got something to say, and they the greatest of all time, and that's it. My top 5.
All right.
So comical, bro. All right, I'm gonna start off pretty recent. Donald Trump's mugshot. Yep. Michael Jackson standing on stage at Super Bowl, not moving, not singing. And they couldn't do shit about it. And people was going crazy.
And they were going crazy, losing their mind.
Whole time.
The longer he stood there, the more they went crazy.
I'm like, this man making money by breathing.
That's good. That's
We like
good.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, the Will and Chris Rock smack.
Good one.
That he came all the way from California to New York with that one.
Yeah, he did.
He can still feel that one. The OJ case, period.
Good.
Oh,
The
yeah.
whole thing. The Bronco, the glove, the special batch of ice cream, all of that. And he got away with it. So boom.
Hey,
and
man.
my number 1,
If the glove don't fit.
you must have quit. And my number 1 is when Whitney Houston ate Wendy Williams up on that phone interview. But you don't know me. You ain't never been my
Slow down. Get you a bonus if nobody say it.
That's a roast.
She was like, "Cause you don't know me. You
What
ain't
you
never
got,
been in my
Millennium?
house, but you talking about me."
Y'all done took all mine, man, so I had to dig deep. All right. Diddy's house getting raided. Yeah. Nicki Minaj chomping out Miley Cyrus on live TV. I mean, I ain't never been so proud in my entire life. Get Hannah Montana ass off this TV. Gucci Man kicking Buffy the body out the car. Yeah, that's straight Atlanta. Kicked that. She was the only natural body in the industry at the time. What was that? 3, 4?
3.
All right. 4, when Dr. Dre made 50 Cent in the game, squashed their beef publicly in front of everybody on the news. That was amazing for me.
Okay.
And number 5, how the Falcons blew a lead in the Super Bowl. How we do that, y'all?
Oh,
How-
28-3.
I was collecting my money at halftime, and I think I had to pay people back immediately. So, thanks, Matt.
What you got, Teasy?
All right. First is gonna be just period. Bobby and Whitney.
That's it.
The whole thing.
Ain't nothing else to say.
Period.
The whole thing.
Okay.
Michael Jackson's death.
Damn.
Because that was rippling. That was crazy. That was rippling.
You can remember where you were, right? Can't you?
Facts.
When the Sugar Hill Gang dropped Rapper's Delight. That started us. That started us. I was at 241 Clifton Place, Brooklyn, New York. Yes, sir.
He was buying some now.
Remember that. I remember that one.
I was in New York too.
I was driving the car on our way to Fort Hood,
Boy,
Texas.
I remember that Sugar Hill Gang.
I remember where I was at. And
number 2 is kind of twofold here. Is Jay-Z actually getting Beyonce and then had the damn nerve to cheat on her? The fuck?
This is gonna be the most controversial thing I say. Beyonce ain't all that. I'm sorry. She all right. She middle of the mall, fine.
Hey, you looked at Jay?
Now Kelly,
Yeah, middle of the mall.
he look like Kelly too.
And then the other, now
never
number
heard
1, which
Middle
is
of the Mall
twofold
fine.
also, Tupac's and Biggie's death.
Dang, my mama cried.
I got you.
Yes.
I got you.
I was like, nobody said it yet.
Tupac.
Tupac's and Biggie's death, both of them. Yeah.
My mama cried.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Kiki said being poly requires maturity, and I'm not there yet because ain't no mingling with the roster. I bet not even know the roster is present. Okay.
So you in a fantasy
So
draft?
she don't qualify for the poly world.
Yeah.
Disqualified.
Yeah. If you ask her what her dynamic is, she gonna look at you like, what?
All right. Robbie says Anna Cole slurring on the award stage before her death.
Oh yeah. She was out. She was hot.
She was out of it.
She was.
Michael Jackson hair on fire. Left eye burning down Andre Rison's house.
Yes.
That's a good one.
She the goat.
That's a good one. Jay-Z whining about B not getting the album Grammy. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, sure did.
And the Olsen twins drunk on stage.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know
You
they
didn't
were
see that?
They
Oh,
were
yeah.
the first. They were the first cokeheads we can watch on TV with no problem. Full house. Message.
Kiki had another comment. She said, "But to be this free mentally and physically has to bring a different kind of peace, and that part is actually cool." Anna Lena said, "Courts reversing decisions." That's the only one she gave me. Oh, Will Smith smacking Chris Rock is her second one. Robbie added easy getting busy by Suge.
Getting busy about Suge.
Getting busy by Suge. All right. So I'm gonna start with the Same Source Awards when Snoop Dogg came up there and said, "So y'all don't got no love for Death Row? Y'all don't got no love for the West Coast?" Let's go with Tupac getting shot the first time.
I mean, you know what?
And
It
then-
ain't funny. My bad.
And then made a rap about it, you know what I mean?
The first
Got
time is
shot
the funny
5
part. the first time.
First time. He had a hard life.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, Kabar, you got me. That's the third one I was gonna bring up was R. Kelly. You gotta say the whole R. Kelly controversy. But the first one with the little girl, and they denied that was their own daughter. So you know, is that 3? Is that 4? That's 3. All right, JT took the death the
Ooh, you
death
about to get in
part.
trouble.
So I'll go with, let's go back to Snoop Dogg on his first murder case, beating a murder case.
And look at him now.
Yeah, and look
at
and
him now.
And look at him now.
Look at him now. Olympics.
How about that? How about that? And last but not least, man, let's go with the breakup of
Shit, which one?
What's the group?
NWA or
NWA.
Wu-Tang?
I'm about to say.
the breakup of NWA. And Ice Cube coming back out with no Vaseline.
Hey man, I listen to that once a week.
He killed him with that.
Every time I listen to it, it
Hey.
goes harder and harder.
He
boy.
killed him with no Vaseline.
I'll just say for 2024,
Kabar
we,
said Rick Ross
we
being a
missed
CEO.
it. Cat Williams on Shannon's on Club Shay Shay, man.
Cat Williams on Club Shake Shake.
Yeah.
How about that?
And Cat Williams killing Wanda Smith career.
Oh, should not
On-
get knocked out. That's another
on
good one.
V103.
I don't know how to say the first name, so I'm just gonna call you by Kabar. I'm sorry, I don't want to mess up your name. But it says should not get knocked out. R. Kelly, Rick Ross being the CEO. All right, good show, good five.
I mean, for real.
I had to think about that one. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a good five. It was actually easier than what I thought too.
When you start thinking about it,
when you first said it, I was like, "What? What?" But yeah. I get it. So, yeah, man, that's gonna do it. Ben, you don't get up here much. Anything you want to share? You know, where you want people to, talk about the business, let people know.
Actually, yeah, man.
Yeah, go on, do that, bro.
So me and Phoenix, y'all normally don't see her, but she's behind the camera or on that switchboard. We have a podcast as well called Cannabis and Coffee. Y'all are familiar with it. We are doing 32 days till Gambino. We're going to the Gambino concert that's going to be here in Atlanta.
Dope.
So
Nice.
we're doing a vlog style as she dives deep into his messaging and the artistry of Donald Glover.
Okay.
So y'all can check
Dope.
that out on YouTube and Instagram at Cannabis with a K, N, and Coffee with a C, OFFY. Thank you, ma'am. Other than that, man, Benji the Guru here. Just happy to be educated on poly, Polygon, Amorous, Ginny, Amarone, and Polypasta.
Polypasta.
Yeah, I know it's in there. I know it is.
somewhere.
It's somewhere. I know it is.
I like Poly Bowling.
Is he
dope.
Poly Bowling?
Poly Movie.
The Poly Movie. I'm with it.
It's the whole Bible.
Hey, the Poly Bible.
Yeah.
You know what? I know Jesus. Let me stop. Let's go ahead and get off the air because I don't want to go. Hey,
Will
it's
Smith
the
getting
seat.
hammered on his knees.
It got to be the seat. The seat make you do this. I see why Mike be acting like this
I don't
over
know
here.
what that
It's
is.
the seat. It's the seat.
I don't know where.
It got to be this corner. There's something about this energy over here.
Too funny.
But yeah, man, I'm good.
Hey, man, if you ain't ready to vote, man, make sure you vote, man. Y'all see where this election is going. Y'all see all the direction it's heading. Be mindful. Stay woke. Don't listen to the BS. Yeah, man. Anybody's better than that guy. That's all I can tell you.
Right, anybody.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is also running, people. So pay attention to all the candidates. Be informed, like Lo said, and good luck
Right.
to some of y'all.
Think globally. Vote locally.
We're gonna need that.
Yep. As Angelo said, man, make sure that you get informed, get out there, and make sure that you cast your vote. For me, same thing, man. Please go to ATL Atlanta. I was going to say ATL's hottest. AtlantaCigarWeek.com, and please vote for me as the fashion icon of the year. Voting goes through, what's the day? I think through Sunday. If you have already voted and you're tuning in, I appreciate it. If you haven't, go on in there and hit the button. Just hit the damn button, people. That's all you got to do. Also, hit the button for Classic Konversations. Tell somebody. Hey, there you go. We got it back. Yeah, so what you like to tell them, Angelo, about that?
Tell a friend, tag a friend, and what's the date for the award ceremony?
Oh, yes. August 22nd, man. We got to make sure that we put the thing up next week. Me and Angelo are being honored presidential award by the group called the Love. What is it? Love from Afar?
Yeah, love from afar.
Yeah. We're being honored on August
And Axe the
22nd.
Cop.
Huh?
And Axe the Cop.
He's being honored too.
Y'all show.
You sure? No. We gonna get into the schematics of that later.
Don't
Don't ask cop come up here and it's like,
Look,
here's a certificate.
Yeah. So listen, man. That's gonna do it, man. You're right.
Live.
Classic Conversations with Jae Tea Lo,
And ask a cop.
and we out. You did.